Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки.
I wish you health, dear Ukrainians. I have just finished a conversation with Mr. President of France Macron, and these are the third international negotiations today, after conversations with the NATO Secretary General and the Prime Minister of Sweden. The key is our defense, the front line, weapons, and the capabilities of our soldiers. And I'm grateful to our partners for understanding our needs. We have agreed on new defense packages, and by the way, thank you, Emmanuel, for the fact that today the weapons we had agreed on, missiles and tanks, have begun to arrive. But of course, today we also talked about more strategic things, about what will be the security foundation of Europe after this war and our victory. For peace to come sooner and to be lasting, fair and real, the Russian evil must see the limit we will set for the Kremlin's ambitions. We, all three European nations, all in our Euro-Atlantic community, not Russian terrorists, and any of their acts of blackmail and aggression. Every day we are adding content to the NATO Summit that will take place in Vilnius next week, and I'm grateful to all our partners who are working with us to strengthen the alliance, and thus to ensure security in Europe, real security. Today, in conversations with the President of France, the Prime Minister of Sweden and the NATO Secretary General, we have coordinated our steps in the run-up to Vilnius. I also had several meetings with government officials and the office's international team to prepare for foreign policy events that will take place in the near future. Very importantly, the situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The whole world must now realize that common security depends entirely on global attention to the actions of the occupiers at the plant. Russia must clearly realize that the world sees what scenarios terrorists are preparing for, and the world is ready to respond. Radiation is a threat to everyone in the world, and the nuclear power plant must be fully protected from any radiation incidents. It is exactly 16 months since the Russian troops have been in full control of the territory and facilities of the Zaporizhzhia NPP. Different countries have their own intelligence and other capabilities to know exactly what is going on and who is to blame. Now we have information from our intelligence that the Russian troops have placed objects resembling explosives on the roof of several power units of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, perhaps to simulate an attack on the plant. Perhaps they have some other scenario, but in any case the world sees, can't but see, that the only source of danger to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is Russia and no one else. Unfortunately, there was no timely and large-scale response to the terrorist attack on the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant, and this may incite the Kremlin to commit new evil. It is the responsibility of everyone in the world to stop it. No one can stand aside, as radiation affects everyone. I thank Mr. President Macron for his attention to the situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant and for his willingness to do everything necessary to ensure safety. One more thing. Today, Russia once again attacked Kharkiv region, the city of Pervomaisky. Presumably, it was an Iskander missile. 8 ordinary high-rise buildings were damaged. More than 40 people were wounded, 12 of them children, 2 of them infants, less than a year old. As of now, rescuers and police are still inspecting the damaged buildings. Everyone who was wounded by this missile strike will be provided with all necessary assistance, and the enemy will be held accountable for this strike, as well as for all other their strikes. Russian terrorists want to become exemplary in the way they destroy life. We will become exemplary in the way we protect life and in the way life then responds, justly and inevitably, to every blow inflicted to every terrorist. The Nazis tried to hide from justice for a long time, but many of them were found and are still being prosecuted. We will catch the Russians much faster. By the way, I will now have a meeting with Interior Minister Klemenko and Head of the Security Service Maluk to discuss new challenges to our security and the overall situation. I also had a meeting with the intelligence today. We know how to put terrorists in their place. I thank all our warriors. Glory to Ukraine.